It's amazing how easy it is to turn friends into enemies with just the point of a finger. Well, I'm going to dive into the relationship of the iconic rappers Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. The purpose of my speech is to inform my audience on the specific reasons why two, perhaps the most greatest rappers in history, went from friends to enemies in the course of a single night. Before they were enemies, they were friends. The feud actually started when Tupac was shot and robbed in the lobby of the Quad Studios in Manhattan, New York, where Biggie was having his recording session. He was on his way up when he got held up. Before he even made it to the top, he was ambushed and almost instantly accused Biggie and the Bad Boy entourage for setting up the robbery. That soon led to the infamous diss track, Hit 'Em Up. Ever since then, they remained enemies until their deaths in 1996 and 1997. Prior to the incident, they were both friends. The two rappers were just barely starting out. They met in 1993, and Tupac first heard Biggie rap, and he said, "This guy is dope." So almost instantly, they developed a friendship. They were always seen together at their concerts, and they were featured on each other's tracks also. That leads to another collaboration called Running from the Police. In the course of a few hours, one night in the course of a few hours, these men became enemies. On the evening of November 30th, 1994, he was robbed and shot. This ignited the feud between the two rappers and eventually the two coasts of the United States. The attack happened in the elevator of a lobby at the Quad Studios in Manhattan. While Tupac was on his way upstairs to meet Biggie, he was held up. They shot him 5 times, and they took all of his jewelry. Moments after the shooting, Sean Combs, who's the producer of the Bad Boys record label, showed up to the scene, and Tupac almost instantly accused Combs and the Bad Boy entourage. From that day forth, Tupac considered Biggie and his friends enemies. This eventually led to the infamous diss track "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac featuring the Outlaws. I will play that for you. The song was written with heavy lyrics that were pointed towards the entire Bad Boy record label. He talked about killing people, and he also talked about committing adultery with Faith Evans, who was the Notorious B.I.G.'s then wife. All of this hatred coming from Tupac eventually led to his death in 1996 and Biggie's in 1997. On the evening of September 7th, 1996, he was leaving the MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas to head down to a club owned partially by the Death Row record label. At the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo Drive, Tupac, along with Suge Knight, was gunned down until Tupac died 6 days later in the hospital. Tupac was shot in the thigh, the pelvis, the lung, and the right hand, and he died 7 days later. On the evening of March 9th, 1997, Biggie Smalls was leaving an after-party in Los Angeles that he was visiting to promote his new single, Hypnotized. He and his entourage were at a stoplight at Wilshire Boulevard and South Fairfax Avenue when a white Impala rolled up right next to them, rolled down their window, and opened fire on Biggie in the passenger seat, and he was hit 4 times. The main points for my speech included the years prior to the rivalry where Biggie and Tupac were friends, and led to Tupac's robbery and shooting in New York, which led to their eventual deaths in 1996 and 1997. These two rappers are considered probably the best rappers in history for many reasons. Overnight they went from friends to enemies. And the purpose of my speech was to explain and inform the reasons and the events on why that happened. With that being said, I hope you found my speech very interesting, and I hope you want to leave hearing at least one Tupac and one Biggie song. Have a great day, everybody. Good night.